So now we're going to look at fan through back and needle at C-bottom from this push hands, I call it push hand scenario, which is you're close and everything's a little bit threatening because they're so close. So needle, first of all, is this kind of pulling something. We call it jive. You're just pulling them off balance a little bit with your hands. Best if you can get them to overextend themselves, and then all you have to do is just add a little bit of impetus, and there's your needle. Okay? So that's the first thing. The second thing is the fan. So the fan through back happens when he pushes too hard with that, and you just go inside that push. So if we look at, you can look at rollback too with these. It works great. So any, you can do it from any position, like from push. It'll still work. From play guitar, it'll still work. You know. So you have to go through all of them basically. This is the word off version. That. Right. So how we blend them is we just see how one works against each other. So if he tries to do needle on me, I do fan on him. And you just start with that very simple thing. You know, and we trade off. So I'll do needle on him and he'll try to do fan on me. And then we just go back and forth until we're pretty clear about how that all works and why it does work and why it doesn't sometimes. So this is kind of what you're supposed to do with all the postures in the form. Now I've coupled them together, right? This is needle and fan through back coupled, but they're coupled in the form already. So you know the form is trying to show you how they work and how they work as couples. And so, you know, the object of the practitioner is to be more fluent with his postures. And so to do that, you need to practice, right? But this is a good thing to practice, is try to slip them in to the scenario. And that's why the push hands is there, is to give you this fluency of the movements in the form in the beginning, and also give you sensitivity training along the way, so that you feel when there's a hole in his posture, and that the posture, the fan through back in this case, slips in, or I feel a hole there. Oh, there's my jive. Okay, then it leads to fan through back 3 times. So then you have to look at the counters, right? So what is the counter to fan through back? So he's going to do fan through back, and I'm going to do high chop, which we did last week. That looks like that. And it really negates fan through back. So then you have to start looking at all the postures and how they. You're going to try. Okay. So I'll do fan through back. You do one more time. Yeah. So it just takes, you know, it takes some doing, and you have to kind of decide to help each other out a little bit and remind each other what to do when, and, you know. So, and you want to feel the response. That is, don't get ahead of my response. So when I try fan through back, he can't do it his thing before I do my thing. Basically, he has to respond to my attack. That way, it becomes interactive, you know, instead of like this dull, kind of not really understanding what to do thing. But you're trying to feel my fan through back, and then you try to counter. And then you just get really good at that. You know, you just take away all the formality, and it just becomes really fluid. Good thing.